Okay, back to we don't have any men in America anymore. Jeremy Healy is not a man. Jersey City Mayor. He says that the ATF knows more about it than he does, and that anyone that has a weapons permit or a concealed carry permit that purchases 2 weapons at a time is considered suspicious. Well, Mr. Jeremy, that's not a man. You tell me what's wrong with a man that's worked and bought and has his money and he wants to purchase 2 firearms at one time. Why is that suspicious, other than you don't give a rat's behind about the Constitution anymore? Listen to me, American people. The Constitution's dead. The American people are asleep, and we don't have men in America anymore. That's just fact of the business. That's why I am going to let these stay up a little bit, and I'm pulling them down. I'm not bothering with it anymore. I'm having other avenues, and I'm going to be talking to my subscribers about going to that, but I'm not going to be here anymore on this because I've talked till I'm blue in the face. I've spent hundreds of hours warning the American people of what's coming and what's already here through videos if you take time to research and understand. And some of you have listened and a lot of you hadn't, and you know what? You've made your bed and you can sleep in it because you're not a man anymore. You see, it's just simple as that. Let's move on with the video, and I'll get to some other stuff that really is very important. Let's see what he says.
That we do has labeled all multiple purchases as inherently suspicious.
Authorities call the weapons they seized weapons for war.
Hold it. He called the weapons that they seized, authorities did, weapons for war. Okay? In the video that I looked at, I saw nothing that was illegal. Nothing. Okay? But this is a propaganda put out to scare anybody that thought about getting a firearm. It's put out to scare the liberals even more to come out and just be totally engulfed in banning all weapons. Is all it is. It's a propaganda deal. These people are paid off. The Jersey City mayor, the Jersey City police chief, the little old fat punk that was there standing there talking to him too, is paid off. They're afraid they're going to lose their pension if they don't go along with the status quo of destroying the American people. I'm just putting the truth out to you. I told you I wasn't sugarcoating nothing anymore. I'm sick of it. Now, let's move on.
They ended up in the hands of criminals. It could have been horrific.
Hold it. The reason they took them, the AP reporter said, look it up. It's got 1,299 views right now. Dozens of weapons seized from New Jersey home. Now, the N, it's not New Jersey, it's N.J. home, okay? If it got in the hands of criminals, could have been catastrophic, okay? Let me go back to 2001. When they invaded Iraq. If these weapons of mass destruction get in the wrong hands, it's going to be catastrophic. Now we're no longer talking about the weapons of mass destruction, but we're talking about handguns, firearms that are legal, and they weren't weapons of war. I'm looking at them right now. You 12 gauge, you got some pistols, you've got some semi-automatic M16. Looks like a 9mm Kel-Tec, and just simple everyday weapons that people buy every day. But these are weapons of war, is what they say. Well, I got news for you. The war's already started, my friend, and it's them that started the war on us. But like I said, you're not men anymore, so you won't wake up. You could care less about the Constitution because you're not a man. See, you could care less about defending your family because you're not a man. And if this don't pertain to you, enjoy the ride. If it does, then guess what? You can either like it or lump it. I don't give a rat's behind anymore, like I told you. Now, having said that, let's move on. And for the sake of time, I won't do any more video breakdowns, but I'll just go on and tell you that in Miami, as I said, the police chief and the mayor's calling for a ban on AK-47 because some people were killed by it, okay? Well, look at here. You stupid idiot that ain't a man anymore. Why don't we ban all vehicles? Because I I know some people got killed in a vehicle the other day. Let's ban all cars. Let's ban all trucks. The thing of it, police chief, all you police chiefs and you mayors, you're bought out and paid for by the New World Order too. And what you want is for the American people to bow down and lick your friggin' boots. And you want us to not be American men, but you want us to be little lily liver licking slaves to you. Well, see, you know what? You've pissed in some of our cornflakes, and we don't like the way it tastes. Simple fact to the business. Now, I made video after video about good cop, bad cop. I made pleas to the military and to the law enforcement. You would not believe the responses I've got back from military people and police that they're on our side. The thing of it is, guess what? They're smart enough not to come out publicly and say it, and I'm smart enough not to put their identity out. But I got news for you. They are still men in America. I've talked to them. I've had messages from them. I've sent my phone numbers to them, and they've sent their phone numbers to me. But the people I'm talking to that ain't men is the men that won't stand up, and they won't take a stand. They won't do nothing about it, you see. You're not a man anymore. Let's move on to who ain't a man anymore in America. Okay? Let's use this for an example, and that's probably have to be another part. Okay? Do you remember, if you're a Christian, you do, and if you ain't a Christian, just sit back and enjoy this. Thus saith God, I prophesy. TBN, CBN, all of them. Thus saith God, I prophesy, the prosperity's coming. Last 2 years. Prosperity. That means money cometh, is what they say. Money cometh, is what the preacher said. Money cometh. Okay, the stock market's half what it was. People are losing their homes. People are homeless, okay? But if you would have been a man, what you should have said was this, you lying, filthy preacher. But you're not a preacher of God. And I'm not talking about every preacher. I'm talking about the ones that I know for a fact, buddy, that were preaching that prosperity gospel that's not men, but they're parasites behind that pulpit. Hey, what happened? It didn't happen. The prosperity ain't coming. Jesus didn't say prosperity. Jesus said in this world you're going to have tribulation. He told you to be of good cheer. He's overcome the world. But he also said this. He said they will be those that are after their own belly. In other words, they want you to think prosperity's coming so they can feed their own belly while you lose your home and you lose everything you've got. And bingo. End time don't play no games. I told you, I'm through trying to be reserved. Bingo. You're in your mansions. Them people sent you their money, and they're being foreclosed on, and you're not helping them. You're not a man anymore. I'm coming back with another part because I really ain't worried about it anymore.